history, first of all, this council really doesn't have any authority to decide which regional boards any of us get appointed to or we apply to. This arose as an issue when it became evident I had gone and gotten appointed to regional boards I had applied to, and it was obviously concerning to to some members of this council, causing us, quite honestly, when I've actually polled other communities to find out exactly what they do with representation on various boards. They actually encourage their council members to go out and be put on these boards because it does give you firsthand knowledge of what's going on. It gives you sometimes a heads up on what's coming down your way. Many of the things that I've learned I have brought back to this council and brought us alert, and we've actually taken action on those things. And we're actually kind of becoming a laughingstock in Orange County because of the control that this council wants to have on its members rather than encouraging their participation. I'm proud to have served on various boards, the ones I'm sitting on currently, and I will continue to serve. I sit on the Orange County League of Cities Advocacy Committee, the League of Cities Community Relations Committee, which I may or may not go back on next year, and was recently appointed to the SCAG, Housing and Economic Development, as a sub-regional rep. Being recommended by a council member from a neighboring community because of the respect and I have earned from that. When much of this is all done on my own time. This is not done on city time. It doesn't interfere with city business. I don't ever have it interfere with the meetings here, nor do I take away from the time that I have to spend on other things in the community. It generally doesn't cost the city any money, except for the one mistake I made, and it was at the encouragement of Mr. Kelly when I went up to the first Sacramento meeting, and he told me to turn my receipt in for that $200 bill for a flight and a taxi from the airport over to the meeting and back. That obviously I shouldn't have done. And I was at the encouragement of the city manager, and I apologize for that. And if you want repayment for that, that's fine. But I think it was a valuable meeting for me to go to serve my community. I cover this on my own time. I take time off of my own job to do that. So, you know, you really do not have any capability of limiting my ability to do this. I don't get paid like many of you that serve on boards right now. You know, you make $300 sometimes a shot. I don't get reimbursed for any of my time up there. The league or none of these other groups subsidize your pay in any way, shape, or form for this thing. So, you know, I actually left a council meeting and asked for it to be adjourned early because I had a 6 a.m. flight to take off and get up to Sacramento. So, you know, I think it's a little short-sighted on this council. I think it's controlling, and I think it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to the members who choose not to become involved in regional issues that impact our city and to learn more as much as they can about what goes on in the surrounding areas and what legislation and things are coming our way.
Well, as I read the proposed ordinance, Section A said if a city council member seeks to be appointed or to serve on a board, committee, or commission where the position is only open to an elected official, the city council member shall announce at a regular scheduled meeting of the city council his or her intent to seek such an appointment or provide such service. So there's no prohibition about serving, none whatsoever. The real crux of this ordinance is in paragraph B. A majority of the vote of the city council approving the appointment or service shall be required prior to the city paying for any registration fees, food, or travel or other expenses related to the council member service on the board, committee, or commission.
I certainly will never ask for money from this group again. So let that be said. But I will not ask your permission to serve on a regional board, especially one that I've been nominated from an outside individual that I've worked with on other things. So, you know, put it on record, I will not ask to be reimbursed. I'm going to Sacramento again at the end of this month, and that is on my dime, and I will not ask this council to approve any kind of money for that.
Yeah, as I read that, in fact, I would delete some words from that second paragraph the way I read it, but I would say a majority of the vote of the city council shall be required prior to, and leave out the approving the appointment or service, since we're not approving that. Second paragraph B, a majority of the vote of the city council approving, let me see, a majority vote of the city council shall be required prior to paying for registration fees. So I'm deleting, beginning with approving the appointment of service, or service. Delete the 5 words, approving the appointment or service. So all you're doing is approving funds. You're not approving or disapproving of the service on the commission or board or whatever it may be. It's just the funds. Which is effectively what the 2008 resolution says, except it's apparently is only talking about overnight travel. Mr. Anderson.
This was something that got added here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an ordinance that I proposed because I think it's just common courtesy that our fellow council members would let us know that they are seeking appointment to these various commissions and boards and so forth, whether it requires a city council vote or not. I mean, it's just common courtesy. And in light of vehement demands that as to city council appointments, that be a full vote of the full council, I would think that it would also apply in any situation where a council member is going to go out. I mean, let's face it, John Anderson wouldn't get appointed because I'm John Anderson to any one of these. Somebody who gets appointed to one of these is going to get appointed on the basis of membership in the city council. And in that sense, you know, if a council member wants to ignore an ordinance, assuming it gets passed, then so be it. So be it. But I would think just as a matter of collaboration with fellow council members, and in the spirit of allowing fellow council members to give input and say whether it's a good idea or not in any one of these committees and boards and so forth. I just think that's good policy, and I also think it's just common courtesy. And so in light of that, I know we're going, if there's any public comment, I'm ready to make a motion, whatever you desire one, Mr. Mayor.
Is there any public comment